What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Code from Low podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Cole, and today we get into Week 3 recap of the NFL, and then we'll get to preview of Week 4. Last week, I did miss recap of Week 2 and preview of Week 3. That's on me, but it's all good. We're back, and we'll get to recap of Week 3 and preview of Week 4. Before we get into today's episode, thank y'all for all the support, the subscribers, the follows on Instagram, the follows on TikTok. I really do appreciate y'all. Give some shout outs to the comments real quick. Gotta show love to the supporters. We're currently at 185 subscribers, man. Road to 200. Road to 200 before the end of the year. I think we can get that. I think we get 200 subscribers, 200 to 250 subscribers before January 1st. So before the year ends, I think we can get 200 to 250 subscribers. But a couple shout out to some comments. Shout out, it's a person I've been wanting to shout out for a minute now because he was commenting heavily. Shout out Frankie Fleet Underwood. Shout out to him. He been commenting very heavily on every single post lately. Shout out to the NAR report. And shout out to Mr. Will Gray 5767. Hey, make sure y'all get on the comments and I'll shout y'all out and read some of the comments out. I think one episode I'm going to do where we react to some of the comments and we'll get our opinions. Y'all can get y'all opinions on that too. But like I said, appreciate all the support. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all follow the TikTok and Instagram at Cole from the Low. But get into Week 3. So Thursday night game, September 19th, we had the Jets versus the Patriots. Jets took that win 24-3. They now moved to 2-1. The Patriots moved 1-2. I just did not see the Patriots beating the Jets. They had a good win against the Bengals, but going against this Jet team that's finally trying to get into the groove of things, I just did not see them losing to the team of the Patriots. Jacoby Brissett, 12 for 18, 98 yards. Aaron Rodgers looking like vintage A-Rod, looked like the old A-Rod. He started to move a little bit in that game. You can see the running was coming back off that Achilles. You can see the running. He get back to the running game aspects of it. He was 27 for 35, 281 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Braylon Allen, the running back, he had 11 carries, 65 yards. And Tyler Copeland, 5 receptions, 93 yards. That's a good game for the Jets, especially when your leading receiver is not even your main guy. Your leading receiver being Tyler Copeland and Alan Lazard, 3 receptions, 48 yards. Mike Williams, 3 receptions, 34 yards. Garrett Wilson was 5 receptions, 33 yards. When your best receiver is not your lead receiver, that's a good sign. Because in that aspect, you're more of a team when you get everybody involved. Your best receiver is the 4th leading receiver. He was tied for most catches, but he's the 4th leading receiver. So when you get plays like that going, you can credit the defense somewhat because you're game plan for your best receiver. But at the same time, when you can get everybody involved, your offense become more proficient and you get the offense moving. The Patriots side of things, they just don't look good. They literally just does not look good. Gibson 5 carries 29 yards. Douglas 7 says 69 yards. They did have Drake May come in the game in the fourth quarter. He was 4 for 8, 22 yards. His first pass was almost an interception. And Drake May, he had good showings. He did have some good showings. It's not that he had, even though it was some risky passes he was throwing for that 4 for 8, he had a good showings of once he get in the groove of things, or let's say Jacoby Brissett go down and Drake May is in for a whole game. He has showings that he can be a great talent of a quarterback, but it's going to take him a little time. So right now, I think he does stay as the backup quarterback so he can learn and things still progress because the game did seem like it was moving way too fast for him going into that fourth quarter. Get into it. I'm going to skip a couple games right now and come back to it. I want to talk about the Panthers, and they just recently played the Raiders. Bryce Young got benched. Andy Dalton coming in. And y'all know how I feel about Bryce Young and the Panthers. I always said that Bryce Young is not his fault. It's the Panthers' fault. The Panthers have O-line. She gave some talent. Now that Andy Dalton came in, Andy Dalton threw for 3 touchdowns, was 26 for 37, and 319 yards. I can't even put it all on the Panthers. I can't, because when you have a quarterback with the same amount of tools, and Dalton is a veteran, and Dalton, he's not good at what he used to be back when he played for the Bengals, but showing this and a sign like this, I can't put it all on the Panthers. You got to show Bryce Young got to take some responsibility, and that's a blame do go on him. Now, I will say this. I do think Bryce Young confidence is shook. And not saying that him getting benched and Andy Dalton taking his spot, not that say. I'm saying his confidence shook because when you get hit so many times and get abused so many times and taking sacks and throwing this many picks and not really getting the help you get, your confidence, especially at the quarterback position, will get shook. I do think Bryce Young do need to lead the Carolina Panthers or they need to trade him away. I think you might well go ahead and keep Andy Dalton. If Andy Dalton wins another game, you're gonna keep him as a starter. But and I think Bryce Young can do better learning behind Andy Dalton or learning behind another quarterback. And I just think it's not all on the Panthers anymore because Andy Dalton did come and he did put up this type of performance. Now, I will say this, and it's not to discredit Andy Dalton. The Raiders' overall defense did not look good. Like, Chuba Hubbard, 21 carries, 114 yards. Deontay Johnson, 8 receptions, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Overall, the Raiders' defense does not look good against the Panthers' offense. And that's a more credit to the defense of the Raiders, not credit, criticism, because how do you perform like you just had a great game against the Ravens, and then you go to the Panthers and your defense performs like that against the Carolina Panthers? A lot of people thinking they would not win a game. So I'm not going to discredit the performance by Andy Dalton because you did what you're supposed to do. You got to win and you produce. But at the same time, you got to look at the Raiders defense. How do you let up not only Andy Dalton, but Chuba Hubbard and also Deontay Johnson? I think Chuba Hubbard got very involved in the pass game, also 5 receptions, 55 yards. So you have to look at the game. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, Andy Dalton had a great game, this and that, this and that. I want to keep seeing this for Andy Dalton because at the same time, for me, and my perspective of football, I'm looking at the whole NFL game as a whole. Who all had a great game against the defense? Did Andy Dalton pass a lot to one person, and that one person had a lot of Andy Dalton yards? Did the run game very proficient? What was working for the Panthers? So, and it was all working for the Panthers, to be honest. Run game, pass game, it was just working, and that Raiders defense was not clicking. So, not to discredit Andy Dalton, but at the same time, you have to look at it and be like, well, all the offense for the Carolina Panthers was working. So the yap sesh. But at the same time, I do think Bryce Young does need to lead the Carolina Panthers. And getting into that conversation, what team do y'all think Bryce Young should go to? So I got a couple teams in mind. For me, I was talking to Jay Fidon Podcast and MK World. Shout out to them. I was talking about it and figuring out number one option, I think, is Miami. Two is not talking about retiring, but at the same time, I don't think they'll win with Skylar Thompson as much. And you're gonna need a quarterback. And I think right as of right now, if Bryce Young was looking somewhere to start, that is his best case scenario of starting in Miami. Tua is most likely either should retire or he won't be played as much because of the concussions. Bryce Young has showed promise. He has the talent around him. He has an O-line that will protect him. He has the receivers in Tyreek Hill. He has Jalen Waller. He has A-Chain. He has Raheem Mostert. He has the weapons to produce. So we can also he will be put in that category of he has the weapons and he probably won't be able to show what all his potential that he has. But at the same time, if he goes for the start and someone that needs a quarterback as of right now, it would be the Miami Dolphins. Another place I was thinking was the New York Jets. A-Rod, he's not getting no younger. I think A-Rod would be a great mentor to Bryce Young. And if A-Rod ever goes down again, because you got to mention he is coming off an Achilles injury and something can happen, knock on wood. I do think Bryce Young can go to the Jets and have an impact by also learning from Aaron Rodgers also and become a great quarterback. Another team, and this is controversial, the Cincinnati Bengals. And we're going to get into them and their wins and their losses. But at the same time, I do believe that Cincinnati does need a backup quarterback. Because if Joe Burrow goes down, we got to face the reality. Joe Burrow is a injury-prone quarterback right now. And Joe Burrow, I'm not saying that he's bad. Joe Burrow is a top 5, top 7, and some people are top 2, top 3 quarterback. Top 2, top 3 quarterback. But I do think when Joe Burrow go down, they do need a quarterback. And Bryce Young can also learn from Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has been in multiple AFC championships. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's been in the playoffs. I do think you can learn from Joe Burrow. So those are three teams that Bryce Young can fit or have some type of impact with them teams. I don't think it's not really too many situations. Oh, the Giants. I think Bryce Young can go to Giants. I think the only reason Bryce Young would not go to New York Giants or the Giants don't drop the quarterback, they paid Daniel Jones too much money. They paid Daniel Jones way too much money. If we're gonna get into that conversation of quarterbacks and money also, but I think they paid Daniel Jones way too much money for them to draft the quarterback or to get Bryce Young. But if it keeps going how it's going, they will eventually need to get a quarterback. As long as Dan Jones keeps fitting elite neighbors, then that's a different story. That's a dog right there. But it's not too many teams that necessarily need a quarterback. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield is playing good. If they need a backup quarterback, he could go there. I'm not 100% sure who is the Buccaneers quarterback. Um, Jaguars might can get a backup quarterback also. Because as right now, Bryce Young could only start in Miami. And I think if he does need a backup, if he goes to another team, he will be backup quarterback. And I think a couple teams do need backup quarterbacks. But as of right now, that's a maybe the Browns. I didn't even think about the Browns. Because Deshaun Watson ain't getting no younger. Deshaun Watson also staying in some trouble. The Browns might be it. Browns, Raiders. There's a couple places he can go now that I think about it. But yeah, that's for that conversation. Y'all get in the conversation. Let me know where do y'all think Bryce Young will go. Let's see. Our next game will be Steelers. Hold on. Steelers and the Chargers. Hey, I keep telling y'all, 3-0 in the AFC North. Your two best teams are right now it's tied for second, and one of them is in dead last, which being the Cincinnati Bengals. I kind of told y'all so, but y'all ain't want to listen to me. The Cleveland Browns look dysfunctional, and the Baltimore Ravens are too much run-heavy defense. And we're going to get into that also about the Cowboys, because they almost lost that game, and they probably would have lost that game if that Cowboy defense stepped up. But the Steelers and Chargers, hey, as of right now, in my opinion, Justin Fields is the starter. Justin Fields is the starting quarterback. He's producing. He's not turning the ball over. He's winning games. He's going in on pads. He's going in on runs. I don't think we make a change for Justin Fields. For Justin Fields, change for Russell Wilson. I don't think that's even a conversation as of right now. I think when Russell Wilson do come back, he either fight for his position or wait till something happens to Justin Fields. It's simple as that. I think he just mentor Justin Fields and keep coaching him up. But as of right now, I don't think Justin Fields go back on that bench. Especially if he gets us a win against the Cowboys or the Jets, I don't think, and he keep us undefeated going in that stretch also, I don't think Justin Fields ever see that bench again. And also, Justin Fields is the future for the Steelers because, like I said, with a lot of other quarterbacks, Russell Wilson is not getting no older. Not getting no younger. So it's a battle of time and age with Russell Wilson. And then, top 5 defense also. Najee Harris, 18 carries, 70 yards. Justin Fields, 25 of 32, 245 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have an interception, but the interception wasn't his fault. It was a tip pass in the air, and they turned it to an interception. It wasn't his fault. Justin Herbert, he did go down with an injury. I do think if he would have stayed in that game, we still would have got the win because the defense was just getting to him, and that D-line was crushing their O-line. 12 out of 18, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 15 carries, 44 yards. Quentin Johnston, 2 receptions, 44 yards, 1 touchdown. Steelers, our leading receiver was Calvin Austin, 4 receptions, 95 yards, and didn't have a touchdown. George Pickens is getting so close to getting touchdowns. He had a couple touchdowns called back, but he's getting so close. 5 receptions, 57 yards for George Pickens. Cordell Patterson, 4 carries, 33 yards. We are getting an injury report. Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, they're battling some injuries. As of right now, they're not listed as questionable or listed on IR or anything to go into our next game with the Colts. But they are battling some injuries right now. But we do have Cordell Patterson, and he looked good. We would have had another touchdown, scored been 27-10, but we got to 5-yard line, just took a knee. Texans and Vikings. Hey, I apologize, Sam Darnold. I deeply apologize. I was rooting for JJ McCarthy, and I literally was the biggest one saying they were not getting over Sam Darnold. I am sadly mistaken. Sam Darnold is balling. Beat the Texans 34-7. That's the one game I did not watch. I gotta go watch the highlights of that game. 181, 4 touchdowns, 17 for 28. Aaron Jones, 19 carries, 102 yards. Justin Jefferson, 6 receptions, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. CJ Stroud, 30 for 31, 215, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Cam Akers, 9 carries, 21 yards. Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions, 94 yards. Ooh. Them Vikings are looking dangerous. And a question was presented. That who has the better 3-0 start? Is it the Steelers or is it the Vikings? And non-biasy, y'all let me know in the comments. And non-biasy for me, I think the Vikings has a way better 3-0 start than the Steelers. Because even though people downplayed the Steelers, and a lot of people had the Steelers in fourth place, starting the AFC North, and was going against a lot of teams like the Falcons was over us. A lot of people favored the Broncos over us. A lot of people favored the Chargers over us. But the Vikings, no one thought the Sam Darnold Vikings would be winning games like this right now. You beat the CJ Stroud Texans. You beat the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, they're battling injuries, but at the same time, they are looking good. The game that you play against the Rams wanted it more. They are looking good, and the 49ers are playing good. You have beat the San Francisco 49ers. The Giants, it's the Giants. We really going to count that one. But the 49ers and Texans, that's 2 playoff contender teams you just beat. Not only you beat, you manhandled the Texans. I think they have a way better start and a way better season going right now than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because out of the undefeated teams in 3-0, yes, a lot of people did not think that both of them teams would be 3-0. But to start the season off, which teams are better or have the best 3-0 start, in my opinion, it is the Minnesota Vikings. It's the Sam Darnold-led Minnesota Vikings. For the Steelers, you got the quarterback, you got a top 5 defense, you got the receivers, you got the talent, and you got arguably the best head coach in the league. For the Vikings, it's a Sam Darnold Vikings. Like, I can't get over that enough. As much as I talked trash on that man's name before the season started, the Sam Darnold Vikings are 3-0. And he threw for 181, 100 other yards, didn't go to Justin Jefferson. So it's like he had 4 touchdowns. Only 1 touchdown went to Justin Jefferson. That's I can't hate. I just can't. If I hate, I'm really just being a hater. The other 6 points came from field goals. So he literally covered half of his team points throwing the ball. So I literally just can't hate on Sam Darnold. The Vikings had a better 3-0 start than any undefeated team going in right now. Eagles and the Saints, 15-12. Derek Carr, 14 for 25, 142, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The Saints, they had a good start too. They're 2-1 now, but they had a good start. I just didn't think they were going to beat the Eagles, especially how the Eagles played last week. I did not see them beating the Eagles. Alvin Kamara, 26 carries, 87 yards. Chris Olave, 6 receptions, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts, 29 for 38, 311, 1 interception. Saquon Barkley, 17 carries, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, 10 receptions, 107 yards. And I don't think A.J. Brown played in this game. And Devontae Smith also got hurt. Okay, let's talk about that hit with Devontae Smith, right? Was the hit legal? Yes. He got hit in the back. He didn't get hit in the head. It wasn't targeting. It was a legal hit. Was it a cheap hit? Yes. That hit, first of all, he was not fighting for number yards. He's getting drilled back. The players that's tackling him are literally keeping him up, and he's just going backwards. The forward progress is stopped. The referee should have blown the whistle. Do you come in behind him and hit him? No. That was a cheap hit, and that's just you getting some tackles. Because at that point, he is driving back. What is you tackling him going to do? He's not going nowhere. So I understand in football, and this is what fans want, play to the whistle, If you want to hear the whistle, keep on tackling. But at the same time, he's not going nowhere. He got tackled. He's literally getting drove back almost 10 yards. Forward progress, Ben had that. Should have blown a whistle. It was a cheap hit. Was it an illegal hit? No, it was a legal hit. He didn't target him. He hit in the back. It was a legal hit. But it was a cheap hit because he just should have let him go. And then I don't think they checked on him. I think they instantly just hit him and start celebrating. So yeah, it was a cheap hit. But it's not too much in that game. The Eagles, I think they need to get in the group of things. Broncos beat the Bucks 26-7. I can't give y'all much from that game. Did not watch that game, not gonna lie. 25-33, 163 yards, one touchdown, one interception for Baker Mayfield. Bo Nix, 25-36, 216 yards. 9 carries, 70 yards for, how do you say his name? Tyler Batty. Bucky Urban, 9 carries, 70 yards. Cortland Sutton, 7 receptions, 68 yards. Chris Godwin, 6 receptions, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. My bad, y'all. School been stressing me out. Trying to get this content out. Missed some of the football games. I'm trying to start posting either every Wednesday or every Thursday with the recaps and the previews. That's now my new goal, and that's not to fit into my school schedule. Also, me being a full-time student, also, and trying to get this content out. I'm gonna try to get it all out either Wednesday or Thursday. Cause Thursday, that's when Thursday night game happen. Wednesday or Tuesday, that's when all the games are concluded. So I'm trying to get that content out. Giants and Browns. Did I skip somebody? Packers and Titans, 30-14. That Packers defense is playing unbelievable out of their mind. If they get somewhere, that Packers defense will lead them somewhere. Malik Willis, I knew he was going to have a great game against the Titans. 13 for 19, 202, 1 touchdown. Will Levis, 26-34, 260, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Bryce Young could also go to the Titans. Tony Pollard, 6 carry, 14 yards. Malik Willis was also the rushing leader, 6 carries, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. And Watson, 2 receptions, 67 yards. Hawkins, 6 receptions, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Good to see Hawkins getting some credit in there, getting into the game. But with Willis, okay, this is my thing, right? If Malik Willis goes into the game with the Vikings and beats the undefeated Vikings and take his team 3-1, I'm sorry to say it. I am sorry to say it. The only thing stopping them from starting Malik Willis over Jordan Love, they paid Jordan Love way too much money. I said it here. I said it first. If Jordan Love doesn't come back, either the Vikings game or the game after that, and Malik Willis go undefeated while he's been a starter, the only thing stopping Jordan Love from Malik Willis starting over Jordan Love is they paid Jordan Love way too much money. Simple as that. If Malik Willis goes undefeated in his stint, keep producing over 200 yards, also rushing, and his team is winning, how do you not keep the winning quarterback in? Yes, a lot of that was relying on the defense. Yes, the run game has got going with Josh Jacobs also. But at the same time, and with Josh Jacobs, go look at that real quick. What Josh Jacobs had? Josh Jacobs had 14 carry, 40 yards. Emmanuel Wilson, 12 carry, 50 yards. At the same time, how you not put the winning quarterback in? So, yes, I'm saying now, if he goes and produce and keep on winning, the only thing stopping them from starting him over Jordan Love is they paid Jordan Love way too much money. And I'm telling y'all that now. Jordan Love did get overpaid. I'm sorry to tell y'all that. Jordan Love got overpaid. Bears and Colts, 21-16. Simple as that. Caleb Williams, 363, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's not looking bad. I'm not going to say he's a bust right now, but at the same time, he's turned that ball over way too much, and it's not all on the O-line. Caleb Williams is also on him. He is turning the ball over, and he's just like the game is kind of moving fast for him, but at the same time, he did produce over 300-some yards. Roma Duze, 6 receptions, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Johnson, 8 carries, 30 yards. Anthony Richardson, 10 for 20, 167, 2 interceptions. That's another quarterback. He got to get in the group of things. Jonathan Taylor, 23 carries for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pierce, 1 reception for 44 yards. Who did I miss? Giants and Browns. I don't understand how you go play a good game against the Jaguars and then go lose to the New York Browns, to the not New York, the New York Giants. I don't understand that. 21 for 15, Giants beat the Browns. Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, 236 yards. 24 for 34, Deshaun Watson, 196, 2 touchdowns, 21 for 37. Devin Singletary, 16 carries, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Jerome Ford, 10 carries, 37 yards. Malik Neighbors, that's dog. Keep feeding that man. 8 receptions, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, 7 receptions, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Browns going to end up being third in the AFC North. Panthers and Raiders, 36. We kind of already got that. 36 for 22. Panthers win that game. Dolphins and Seahawks. I did not get a chance to watch that game. Skylar Thompson, 13 for 19, 107 yards. Geno Smith, 27 for 34, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. A-Chain, 11 carries, 30 yards. Tyreek Hill, 3 receptions, 40 yards. DK Metcalf, 4 receptions, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. Charbonnet, 18 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. Geno Smith, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Ravens and Cowboys. So we'll say that towards the end. Lions beat the Cardinals 20-13. Just get our stats for that game. Jared Goff, 18 for 23, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. David Montgomery, 23 carries, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 receptions, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 receptions, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray, 5 carries, 45 yards. Kyler Murray, 21 for 34, 270 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 49ers and Rams. So this is at the end. So let's talk about Monday real quick. Some of these games I'm going to talk a little longer about. So I'm just trying to get to the other games. I'm just going to get by a little more quicker. Bills and Jaguars. Bills absolutely destroyed the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, 21 for 38, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Josh Allen, 23 for 30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns. Travis Etienne, 11 carries, 68 yards. Josh Allen, 6 carries, 44 yards. Christian Kirk, 8 receptions, 78 yards. Shakir, 6 receptions, 72 yards, 1 touchdown. Hey, the Buffalo Bills, 3-0. They're winning games. Now, this is one team that I said could be 50-50. I do not think they're going to do as good as they're doing because at the same time, they lost a lot of weapons. But, hey, Josh Allen, behind Patrick Mahomes, is the second best quarterback in the NFL league. I'm telling y'all, he's better than Joe Burrow. If we go, hey, MK, if we're going to have the comparison that Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes, okay, cool. Patrick Mahomes said it himself in a quarterback documentary. They match up better against the Bills. They said they don't match up good against the Bengals, and they don't. It shows every single time. Josh Allen, 263, 23 for 30, 4 touchdowns, and he's not turning the ball over. When a lot of people said Josh Allen will be turning the ball over, like, he has not turned the ball over. So, yes, the Bills are having a great season so far, and they're getting the job done. And they're not even using arguably their best receiver in Keon Coleman. And I think Keon Coleman also, what was his stat line? 1 reception, 24 yards. I think he went one game where he barely had any catches at all. So, hey, and we also have James Cook, Kincaid, Ty Johnson. Everybody's getting the ball in their offense. Everybody putting in work. Josh Allen. The Bills will go as far as Josh Allen will take them. So let's start with the games. Let's start with the Ravens and the Cowboys. Cowboys, realistically, probably should have won that game. It's not on Dak Prescott. They lose that game because the defense didn't step up and the defense didn't step up when they needed to step up. If they would have got the ball back, Dak Prescott probably would have led down the field and either got the field goal or got the touchdown. They leave that game with a win. And Baltimore Ravens are 0-3. Dak Prescott, 28 for he threw the ball 51 times. Good God. 28 for 51, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 12 for 15, 182 yards, 1 touchdown. Derrick Henry, 25 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dardell, 8 carries, 32 yards. They need a run game too. The Cowboys, they're starting to figure out that defense. They're starting to figure out Michael Parsons, and they not have a good run game so far either. Aguilar, 1 reception, 56 yards. Jake Ferguson, 6 receptions, 95 yards. For anybody that want to start a podcast, make sure I got some water on y'all, because this is a lot of yapping. And make sure y'all drink away from that podcast equipment. Okay, we're back. And yeah, the Ravens. So the big thing about the Ravens that got them this win, the run game got to producing. The O-line stood up for run game. Now, my biggest thing also, they did almost lose that game. When that run game gets stopped, and they got to start passing the ball, Lamar Jackson was 12 for 15. Proficient, yes, but you only threw the ball 15 times. Yes, you got to keep feeding King Henry because that's what won you the game and probably going to win you some more games. But at the same time, what would happen when that run game gets stopped? And they figure out Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I keep saying it. The Ravens' biggest problem is that they're too run heavy. That's not a balanced offense at all. And once you figure out one side of the ball, they really can't win games. Going into the Cowboys, hey, I said it. A lot of people might disagree. I think they just need to go to rebuild stage. Just go ahead and rebuild the team. You're paying them too much. You're doing this, you're doing that, and it's not working. You're either losing the playoffs. You ain't seen the Super Bowl. When the last time y'all seen? Did they go to the NFC? I don't think they went to the NFC Championship that year either. So yeah, they might well just go ahead and restarting that team, and might well just go ahead and take y'all L and get ready to start and build for another season. Getting into the 49ers and Rams, that was the 49ers game to win. A lot of people are bashing Brandon Ayuk because how much he got paid, and they said he ain't stepped up, and Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings is a receiver that Brandon Ayuk wants to be. 11 receptions, 3 touchdowns, 175 yards, a hat trick. He did ball out. But Brandon Ayuk did not have a bad game whatsoever. 5 receptions, 48 yards. His longest catch was 12 yards. And he had 10 targets, but he did not play bad whatsoever. He tried to make some contested catches. He tried to do that. It was a couple throws that he was wide open and Brock Purdy missed him. It's not all on Brock Purdy. It's not all on Brandon Ayuk. Matthew Stafford, 16 for 25, 221, 1 touchdown. Kyrie Williams, 24 carries, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mason, 19 carries, 77 yards. Atwell, 4 receptions, 93 yards. The 49ers, that was their game to lose. The Rams just wanted it more. It's simple as that. The Rams simply wanted that game more, and that is just the hard truth to put it. So, yeah, the Rams really just wanted that game more. The 49ers almost got close at the end with the lateral pass, but Brandon Ayuk couldn't get the ball, and the Rams defender did recover it. But getting to the Falcons and the Chiefs game, so if the season ended right now after week 3, the Steelers will win the AFC conference. And I'm not saying, well, I don't mind saying we're the best in the AFC. But I remember saying MK Podcast, the only team I fear is the Chiefs. The Chiefs are great, and you can say which I want by them and the refs and everything else. But I will say this. The Kansas City Chiefs look beatable. I'm sorry to say it, but they look beatable. Yes, week 1, they had the Ravens. Cool, I let it slide. Week 2, they had the Bengals. The Bengals, they always compete and always struggle against the Bengals, but the Bengals are struggling against the Commanders, and they are struggling, and they lost to the Commanders, and they lost to the Patriots, 2 teams they had no business losing to. But 22-17 with the Falcons, we beat the Falcons, by the way, and the Falcons literally competed with the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, and I think it's Justin Simmons' 6th pick against Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying, if I'm the Steelers, I'm going into that game saying that the Kansas City Chiefs are beatable. We played them later in the season, but by the time they come up, say we're in a running for like winning the conference, we could play our starters, they could play their starters. But at the same time, I don't see neither of them teams playing their starters just because we should be in the playoffs. If the Steelers keep how they going and the Chiefs keep how they going, both teams should be making the playoffs. But I'm just saying the Chiefs are looking beatable. They was hurt, but Carson still he had a great game. The receivers, you got the receivers, you got the best quarterback in the NFL, and in the world, you got Patrick Mahomes. In the National Football League, you got the best quarterback. I'm just saying the Chiefs are looking beatable. Next week, they do have the Chargers, the Saints, the 49ers, then conference with the Raiders. In that order, like they could take 1 to 2 losses in there, or if them games close, we can see how beatable the Chiefs really are. We really could see in the Saints because the Saints have been playing good. The Chargers, I don't know if Justin Herbert gonna play, but you can see how beatable the Chiefs are. So I'm not saying we can beat them, but at the same time, I think we can go into the Chiefs' house and compete. Commanders and Bengals. The Bengals suck. Sorry, not sorry to say. The Bengals suck. In my opinion, Joe Burrow is one of the most overrated players in the NFL. Either overrated or he's overhyped. Joe Burrow, yes, he has beat Patrick Mahomes. Yes, he has been to the Super Bowl. But other than that, what has he done? He's starting to come a little more injury prone. Joe Burrow, really, most of his receptions are carried by Jamar Chase. Yes, you're going to have that one receiver throw the ball to get open, but that goes to my conversation. Do your receiver bail you out? Do your receiver carry most of your yards? Without Jamar Chase, can you produce as you produce? The Bengals don't have a run game. The Bengals are very questionable. Their DBs are questionable. I meant to say about the 49ers. The 49ers, their DBs are also questionable. It's a lot of questions when it comes to the Bengals, and people didn't want to acknowledge it. Like y'all want to talk about the Steelers, y'all want to talk about the Browns, y'all want to put Ravens at 1, put the Bengals at 2, but y'all not acknowledging the questions. Joe Burrow has not been the same. Jamar Chase needs Joe Burrow to get in the ball, and he's the best receiver. He probably right now is the best player on that team. They don't have a run game. Their D line is pretty solid. Their linebackers are okay. The O-line, Joe Burrow will get messed up with that O-line. And you have the receiver. Who am I missing? Oh, yeah, and the DBs are not good. So it's a lot of questions for that Bengals team to figure out. The Commanders, first touchdown, Jay McDaniels, talk to O-line. Hey, Jay McDaniels is my offensive rookie of the year. I keep telling y'all. Jaden Daniels is my offensive rookie of the year, and he is playing better than Caleb Williams. And I'm telling y'all now, if J.J. McCarthy would have been here, he'd probably been playing better than Caleb Williams too. I'm just saying. I tried to tell about Caleb Williams. He was not the true number 1 overall pick. The true number 1 overall pick was Jaden Daniels, and he had a great game. Jaden Daniels, 21 for 23. 21 for 23. 254 yards, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, 12 carries, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Terry McLaurin, y'all been asking where he been. Guess what? He's right here. 4 receptions, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Joe Burrow, 29 for 38, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns. You know who them 2 touchdowns went to? Jamar Chase. Brown, 7 carries, 62 yards. Chase, 6 receptions, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm just saying, the Bengals are not, and they actually were making a comeback in that game because getting their butt handed to in the beginning of that game. So I'm just saying the Bengals are just not what they used to be, and they're 0-3. They're losing the AFC North in 4th place. They wouldn't make the playoffs right now. They have a lot of questions to figure out, and people won't acknowledge that. But let's get into our Week 4 predictions. So, real quick, a lot of these are not really going to be discussable, so we can get through this very quickly. Cowboys and Giants, Cowboys. Steelers and Colts, Steelers. Broncos and 4-0, baby. Broncos and Jets, Jets. Vikings and Packers, that will be a good one. I want to see if Malik Willis going to ball. It's also in Green Bay, but the way Vikings are playing right now, that Packer defense is crazy. The way the Packers playing right now, I like the Vikings. I'm going to take Vikings over Packers. Saints and Falcons is in the Falcons, so I'm going to take it's in Atlanta. I'm going to take Falcons. Eagles and Bucks, Eagles. Bengals and Panthers. You know what? I'm gonna take Andy Dalton Panthers. I'm gonna take the Andy Dalton Panthers to beat the Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengals. Because as of right now, if anybody play how he did and their offense play like they did, and the Bengals look how they have been looking for the last 3 weeks, I like the Panthers over the Bengals. So yes, give me the Andy Dalton Carolina Panthers to beat the Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengals. Jaguars and Texans. Rams and Bears, Rams. Commanders and Cardinals. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. Jay Daniels versus Kyler Murray is in Arizona. They have not been playing bad. Either they can go either way. I want to give it to the Cardinals. I'm gonna say Cardinals. That might change. That might change by Sunday on the Instagram. But I'm gonna say Cardinals. Patriots and 49ers. Patriots could upset, but I'm gonna go 49ers. Browns, Raiders. Chiefs and Chargers, Chiefs. Bills and Ravens. I'm gonna go Bills. It's also in Baltimore, but the way the Bills are playing and the way Baltimore is looking, I'm gonna go Bills. Titans and Dolphins, give me the Dolphins. Seahawks and Lions for our Monday night's game. Give me the Detroit Lions over the Seattle Seahawks. So, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow the Instagram and TikTok at Code From The Low. We're going to get more consistent content going. We're going to get a couple segments going. We're going to have some guests coming on also. I talk way better when it's guests. When it's just me, I be messing up. I'm not going to lie. I've been practicing, but I be messing up when it's just me. I be trying to think of what to say, even though I be knowing what to say, and I can talk about sports because it's sports. Like, who don't like talking about sports? And I know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, it's just me and the camera. So I'm getting used to it. But I appreciate everybody for viewing. I appreciate for all y'all support, and thank y'all.